pushing and driving towards those things that.
All right, Mr. Sewell. Hey, thank you so much for being on the Elite Agent Talk. This is one that I've been looking forward to for such a long time. What an honor. Absolute farmer's legend. I'm going to go over your bio here, but first and foremost, how are you doing, sir? And thank you so much for doing this for us agents. We're going to learn so much from you. I already know. The biggest guest, farmer's guest I've had.
Oh, that's hard to believe. I've listened to a lot of your stuff, and I don't know if I'm the biggest. Maybe the biggest, but not the biggest. I tell you what, it's an honor to be on your show. It's an honor to be on this and to listen to you. And I've learned a lot from you. My staff talks about you and your people all the time, and so it's an honor to be on this. Honor to be interviewed by you, and I hope I do a good job for you and everybody else out there. I hope I do.
Oh yeah, and I'm 100% sure about that because, I mean, let's go over some of these. Your bio. I mean, 33 years as an agent. Mm-hmm. There's so much to learn just from that. But 21 million in premium. Yeah. So the numbers don't lie. You are the biggest farmers agent I've been able to have on the show, and I really appreciate that too. Because, not everybody agrees when I ask, and you were so enthusiastic about sharing. So I really want to thank you for that.
Well, no problem. And, I was at President's Council when I saw you standing over there, and I came to you. I wanted to meet you. And so that's it. It's reciprocated. So you do know that. I think you're looked up to a great deal. And so I appreciate asking. And like I say, I hope I do a good job for you and your listeners. Hope they do good.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you will. And then that's funny when you say that because it's totally the opposite because being a farmer's agent for 15 years now, sometimes, we just have agents that we look up to, not meeting them. It's almost like legends that you hear, so it's amazing that you, came to me. And when I was the one who always wanted to meet you. So really appreciate the friendly gesture there. But I mean, 29 PCs and all consecutive, and every year you've qualified, you've made it.
Been very blessed. Very, very. It was what I was meant to do, I guess. What I was meant to have. I've known so many people from those president's councils, and it truly an honor to be at all of them. My first one was Washington D.C. Back a long time ago, and we've kept coming since. My wife and I, Melissa, have been coming ever since. So it's kind of cool.
I was gonna save the questions after I go over your bio, which will take half the show. But how do you not have an off year? I mean, how do you stay so consistent? I mean, have you had a bad year or
I don't ever think I've had my best year yet. I know that sounds crazy. I've made Agent of the Year a couple of times, and I think every year I feel I could have done better. My wife gets upset at me when I say that, but it's true. I'm never satisfied. I'm always smiling, but I'm never satisfied. Never satisfied with what we do. I know we can do better. I tell you, I think it's because of the market we're in. We're in since I started, we're down here where hurricane could literally come in and devastate the company. I mean, it's a targeted catastrophic area is what they're calling it now. And I think because of that, I've never had a chance just to sit back and relax because we always have rate increases. And we always have the threat of being shut down, which we have had before.
Wow.
And so what I do is I just keep driving the business. I keep pushing to do better. And I like that. I love that. So I think my market, the hard market I have, which I love it. I kid the company and tell them it's the best market in the company. Although they would, the company people don't feel that way. They're worried about us, but it is because it's one of those you have to constantly be working. You cannot lay back. I cannot have a bad year. So now don't get me wrong. I enjoy my life and I believe believe that's so important. I really believe what I said about smiling. I think I'm never satisfied, but I'm always smiling. And by that, I mean, we have to be happy. We have to feel good about our businesses. If I have a bad day, I mean, much less not doing anything about a bad year. If I have a bad day, my people see it. I know you know that. I mean, with your people, I see it in their faces on your Instagram and those things. You have to be an example, just like our DMs have to be an example. Mm-hmm. The company has to be an example, and I have to be an example. So I don't have the fortune to have a bad day or a bad week or a bad year, because my people have to work hard and do the right things on a daily basis. And that comes through me. It's the business is the hard part. Insurance becomes the easy part. So I don't know. People always say, how do you keep that up all these years? I don't have a great answer other than, and I was told when I first started, oh, David, you're going to burn out. When's that worm going to turn? One guy asked me in a talk, when that worm's going to turn one day. And I said to him, well, what do you mean by that? He said, oh, you're going to burn out. I go, I don't think I'm ever going to burn out. And I don't think I ever will. I think I'm going to keep driving and keep pushing to be the best I can possibly be. And I think everybody should be that way. I think I can tell your agency's that way. I could list people that you've interviewed that you know it's that way. And I love that. I love that drive to get better. And I think we'll talk about that today. I hope.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Starting off with so many things I resonate with.
I'm sorry.
No, I really relate with you, just happily.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
I do want to say this. I mean, I know we're interviewing and I'm just an agent just like you. And I say that every time, and anybody who's listening, I'm an agent. So what I do is just talk. I just talk, and I can tell you, I mean, you'd ask me numbers, I'll try to do my best, but I think I've been through everything these agents have been through, the hard and the bad and the good and the bad. And my thinking is I'm not any more special than anybody because I get all these awards and I've got all this stuff. I think if anything, over time, you become stronger. And when something happens, when we get something put on us that we don't appreciate, maybe a rate increase, or they're shutting down a market, or with my area, Craft Lake Carrier Pools, I don't get upset anymore. I don't worry. Mm-hmm. I don't worry anymore. I kind of just laugh. I go, oh, we got to find another way. And we find another direction. And I think that's the thing. I'm an agent just like anybody else. What I've accomplished, any agent could accomplish. I just think I was in the right place at the right time, a good market, great family and background to back me, and I've been with a great company. I think the best company in the industry. I believe that with all my heart.
Yeah, me too. I believe that. I really relate with being happy but unsatisfied. Hard markets has bigger rewards, maybe.
Yeah.
So many things that you touched on there, and the experience. When there's changes, I remember some little changes would just devastate me for a long time. Now, I see the changes coming, and it's like, oh, another one of those, and experience gives you the confidence. But when you say you're just like any other agent, I wouldn't. That's the part I don't agree with. What are some things you think that you've seen in the past, maybe from your peers, that put you here? Because maybe everybody could do it, but there must be some characteristic or a skill or something that you have that has worked out for you.
Yeah. I use that term, drive the business, and how important my people are. You said it just a second ago that we get that way after you've been around a while. You understand something's going to happen. Now there's the other direction. These agents, we know them in our districts that in every company has them, that they've gone the other direction, right? They've pulled back. They've gotten rid of their people. They've stopped growing, and they just do it because they feel like there's no hope, there's no direction. That the difference is we keep driving our people to get better. I want my people to get better and better and better. I had a call this morning from an agent in our district, and he said, Sewell, how are you writing so much new business? And I know it's all relative to where you're at, but he said, your new business numbers are over 300,000. And how are you doing that? And we're a lot more than the people in our district. I'm not going to say we're a lot more than people around us, because there are some people that are doing better, and they're usually these new guys, which is unbelievable. But he said, how are you doing it? And I said, my people are getting better. My people are getting better, and they're writing more. They're hitting their goals. We're increasing our goals. Literally tomorrow at our roundtable meeting, we're increasing our goals, and we keep doing that. And I promise you, most agents in my area don't feel they can. They're worried about it, and they're worried about being able to do it because of our marketplace. Because it is hard. It's hard to with increases and that time, but people need insurance, and we're the people to give it to them. And you just got to hit more people and more numbers. So I believe it's the people. I believe from the beginning, it was the people. You got to think, when I started, it was 1989. You couldn't have a producer. You were not allowed to have a producer.
Oh, really?
That was yeah. You had to write all your auto and all your home. You could have a customer service rep.
Okay.
So I remember saying, golly, if I could just give some of this away. And they slowly let us have a producer. And I gave away what I hated, which was answering the phones. I let that happen right away. And I gave away what I hated so I could sell more. But I got to a stint where I couldn't. So they let us start having producers. And I hired another person. And then I had another person, and I had another person. And what did they start doing when they allowed us to? They got to write auto and home and life. And we have a way we sell. We talk to our people the same way every time. We know our scripts, and we know what we talk about. We call it the agency account plan. We work that. My people know what they're doing, but I need my people from the beginning. I still have the very first employee I had. She still works for me. She does. She's been with me for, this is my 33rd year. She has been with me for 32 years, going on 32 years. Wow. And she is still, she's 83 years old. She works out of her home. She works out of her home primarily. She comes in once in a while. She does HR and that stuff. She does, which is hard in an agency, right? Mm-hmm. Taking care of the people. And she, if I asked her today, if I said how many days does Karina have? She knows how many days she has. She knows why she missed. She knows how many days she has coming up. She knows everything about that person. She knows what she's making. She knows what she is hourly. She knows that. Now, this was my mother-in-law. How's that? Oh, she was my very first employee, was my mother-in-law. And I hired her when I was not making enough money to pay for her. I was broke. I was putting everything back into this business. Every dime was going into this business. We had a baby. We just had our first baby. We had no money. Every dime. We were leading the state of Texas. I didn't realize it because back then you couldn't look at the computer. We were leading the state of Texas, and we didn't have enough money to really have a good time. We made it, but we don't know how, but we did. We were struggling, and I hired that first person because they allowed me to, because back then it was different rules. And it was my mother-in-law, and I did not have enough money to pay for her. So what did I have to do? I had to increase sales, and I increased sales. There's no difference now than these new guys coming on. You have to increase sales to hire those people, to make them better so that they get better, so you can hire another person, and you have to increase sales. And so there's really no change from that. Everything we do is to outperform attrition and write new business. MBC, baby, MBC, new business commission, new business commission, new business commission. I want new business commission. I do a roundtable every Friday, and I talk to my people. And my goal is just like what you're doing to people all over, and just like what our district managers do, is to talk to them and make them a part. And each one of them has their duties and their jobs, and they give presentations and they talk. It's only an hour, phone shut down, and we either do it through a Zoom call, or we do it through the phone. And it's a simple thing. It's called our Sewell Roundtable. And I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. Tomorrow it's going to be on what we went over at President's Council that Jeff Daly did on how we can improve service ops and what they're trying to do, because let's face it, it's a little controlled chaos now with everything going on, maybe uncontrolled chaos with everything changing. And see, I can still smile, and I got to have them smiling and knowing it's going to get better. It's going to get better, because if their mind is bad on that stuff, they don't sell. And they have to want to sell. They have to feel good to sell, just like we do. You have to feel good, and you have to drive it. So I would say the difference I never quit. I'm looking now at going to a new era. I know you've heard of all these because I've seen your shows. Team Hire. I'm going to embrace Team Hire. I'm going to try to build a whole new group of people that are different than my current people, that are going to be doing that new age where it's more call center. So I'm going to have my old school, new school, and I want to keep what a lot of us do. I think you tell me if you've seen this, is a lot of us, we know what we're bad at. I can list, I know I need to get better at certain things, but I can't mess up what I'm good at to get better at those things. It takes a long time to get better at what you're not really good at yet, right? It takes a long time. So you have to take what you're good at another level. You have to keep it going.
Yeah.
Maximize it. You got to keep it growing while you're getting good at this. And all of a sudden, what you're not good at starts to grow with it. And so I've got to keep doing what I'm doing and making it better than last year, next year will be better than this year. But I want to build that whole new era, that whole new Dustin Hoffman. I know he's won Agent of the Year, and how he's doing that. That's very hard for our old age agents to embrace, because it's different. But God, it makes sense. It just makes sense to put on people and have them and buy them massive leads. And I know we can come up with the excuses all you want about they're on retail and they get more commission. That's an excuse. The truth of the matter, it's working. And these new agents are doing it, and they're pumping their money back in. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're growing at numbers that we never saw. What if I could build it? What if some agent's going to be able to do both? Because let me tell you, my agency's a good agency, even in a bad market. But what if I could get better? And I believe I can. And I may be wrong, but I'll keep fighting till I don't. So I think that's your answer. A lot of agents back off, or they're happy, they're satisfied. I'm very happy. Ooh, I'm not satisfied. I want to hit yours. When you put 700 up there, let me just tell you, some guys, they go, oh, how great that is. I just go, God, it kills me. It just kills me. I want to get 700. I want to do that. I want to strive to do, but it's the same with you. When you say 700 policies, right? You want 900, you want 1,000, don't you? You want that. Sir. Yeah. And you're going to find a way to do that. And it's not pressure. That's driving the business. And I know your market's getting hard like everybody else because of profitability issues in the industry, right? Mm-hmm. But you still got to drive it. And how else can we do it but people? How else can we do it but people and good people, and that believe in what you're doing and are doing. So I think that's the difference. Over the years, I put on people, they didn't. During COVID, they got rid of people, I didn't. I put them on. That it's the answers with everybody you interview that's doing well. They believe in their people. They pay, they spend money. They have an end game. They know where they want to be. They know where they want to go. They have a 5-year plan. They look for it. They look for they can tell you what they're trying to build next year, and it's not just. And there's different mentalities. Some know the numbers back like the back of their hand. Some can tell you what their people are doing. It's all different personalities. There's no robot, but they're driving to be better. And that's the thing. That's what makes you happy, is striving to get better. I mean, and failing sometimes. I think failing's great. Nothing wrong with messing up. If I give them a goal, I tell them, you got to know success and failure. And failure isn't, I'm going to fire you. I'm going to get rid of you. Failure is, we got to decide what's going to get you there, because I need you there. Failure is how we're going to get you there. So, and then you're going to succeed. And I got people who have done that, who, when they first started, they weren't writing enough. They weren't doing a good job. They were helping the agency, but they weren't selling. And we have to write new business. We have, in this marketplace today, there is no choice to write new business. There is no choice to make Toppers Club. There is no choice. You should be doing that without it. Every company feels that way, right? You can list those clubs. The first one, every agent in Farmers, if you can't, you need to hit Toppers Club, because it's very, in every category. Not just one, not just two, not just fall into it. It needs to be a focus. It needs to be a focus. That's why I call my producers focus agents. They focus on getting, and Toppers Club's a minimum. You want to be way past Toppers. You want to be, but that's, if a new agent is striving to get better, that's a heck of a good starting point, right? Is hit that in every category. In personal lines, in life, in commercial, and in FFS. And that's a good start. And then they just keep going from there. I want each one of my people to be able to hit that. That's what you want, right? Yeah. Oh, and so I don't know if that's good. See, I get carried away. I'm an agent, so I just get talking. I just get having a good time. I love it.
No, please keep going. I mean, that's really it. I think you're just offensive. You're playing offense all the time.
In offense,
you're just not.
You're right.
You're just not stopping. And then the people, I think that really shows that you care about your people too, because you want them to do well. And if you want them to do well, then you'll make these decisions that you've made in the past. So I think it really comes from understanding that your people are the key, and that you want to help them, and you're serving them. So I think that is what makes you keep that new business commission coming.
Oh, that's it. I agree.
Let me ask you, Sewell.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. How did you get started in this business? And I want to hear the story of, sometimes it's just based on luck, or like you just never know how people got started. But can you take it all the way back? Were you raised in Houston, or?
I was. I have the 3 offices in Houston, and where I'm sitting today is in Pasadena. And my dad was a chancellor of San Jacinto College, which is a large community college, and that he built that college pretty much on all 3 campuses, and that's what he did. So we grew up in the area, and my dad was a very hard worker. That's why I wear a suit every day. I do. I know you young guys don't, but I do. I just do it because I'm old. I wear a tie a lot of times because I work with their money. I don't think there's good or bad to it, but I do. I like it, but I do it because of my dad. Very simple. But he told me that his friends in insurance, back then it was a man by the name of John Phelps, who old State Farm guys know him. He used to be the largest State Farm agent. He was the most respected for a long while. And this was years back. You got to think, my dad's passed away 26 years ago. So this was before I got it. It was, before I got in. He told me, I was a coach. I coached basketball. I wanted to coach in college. I love basketball is my golf now. I enjoy it. Love the Rockets. Enjoy that. But I was coaching, and I was about to leave to go become I was going to become a graduate assistant at Texas A&M University, and I was going to get my master's, and my wife was going to teach. My wife was going to teach, and we were going to, I wanted to get my master's so I could coach, and I wanted to coach college and learn that end. And my dad always said, David, that coaching is going to kill you. He said, because I would win in high school. I would win by 30 and I wouldn't feel satisfied. I wanted my guys to get better. I wanted them to get better. I would lose if I lost. It'd kill me. It would just kill me. Right. And so my answer was, he was right. He was right. And he told me, he said, David, I tell you what, all my friends in insurance, I mean, he was big in the community. He was president of the chamber. And he said, all my friends in insurance, I got freedom. I mean, he was the CEO of a college district, right? He was the chancellor. He said, I got freedom. I can do what I want to do. He said, but they got freedom. He said, those guys got freedom. And he said, John Phelps got freedom. And I remember that, and I remember him saying it. And so I was in Christmas holidays of 1988. I was working, I was coaching, and I was a basketball guy. So I was in the gym just like people do. And I went in and I saw an ad in the newspaper, and I called that ad in the newspaper, and I called two guys. I called a district manager because I liked his name. He didn't answer the phone. And I called Dave Borland because his name was Dave. That's why. And Rosie answered the phone, his wife. And David, Rosie Borland, I love them. My daughter's going to get married. They're coming to the wedding. They're the greatest people in the world. And I asked her, because it's thinking like sports, I said, am I in your district? And she said, oh, yes. Yes, you're in my district. And I went down and interviewed with him, and I left that office. Now, you think I was leaving. I was going to leave high school coaching. I was 24 years old. I was young, I was young and dumb. I was just this guy. And I left that office, and I remember turning. I still know going under 610 and 290, every time I drive under there, I say out loud, I know I can do this. This is me. This is me. And that's what I said. And it just was me. So he sold me right. It's just like coaching, is what he said. He's right. It's just like coaching. He said, if you're going to get beat, if you know you don't have the team to win, you know it, and you don't have the talent, are you going to go tell your team that? Are you going to go tell your team, guys, you're going to get whooped? You're going to get annihilated. Or what are you going to do? You're going to coach them, and you're going to get them better and better.
And while you're recruiting at the same time.
Oh, yes, he was recruiting me. I was going, oh, this is so good. I said, and I left going, I can do that. And that's what I did. And it's just like coaching, isn't it? It's just like what he said. And my dad was right. Dave Borland was right, that it was the best thing I ever did. I got into this with the attitude of wanting to grow a business, wanting to make my business better and make my family better. And it has been the best thing ever for me. And we kept that attitude. And so it was the best thing ever happened to me. I love stories of when people started, because I think that tells a lot about you. And I think that we forget those stories whenever, sometimes, we all get down. We all have something that hits us. And I look back and I just think about those times, because truthfully, I'm no different than I was then. No different. Wow. No different. I get up in the morning. I work out. I come to the office. I come in pumping my people. I have a philosophy, the agency account plan. They know how I'm going to talk to them. They know how to come to me in a positive, tough way. They know there is no giving up. They know it. I don't care what the market is. We could have a major hurricane tomorrow. They shut us completely down. You know what we're going to do? We're going to help people. We're going to help people with the philosophy of, hey, our goal is to make you feel good about your insurance. And and one day you just give us a chance to get everything else. Give us a chance. What do you need? And we're going to do that. We've had that happen over and over and over through the years. And so there's no difference. That's why I think when you say, when people tell us because of the achievements we've gotten with farmers that we're special, I just don't agree. I think we're all the same. I don't think there's an agent in our districts that if they just changed the way they felt, they couldn't be one of the best agents in the company. I believe that. I just believe it. I think that the answer is they have to change. Work comes from what you believe is important. And I just believe what we do every day is important. I believe my people are important. I want them to have better lives than me. Just like my kids. I want my daughter to have a better life than me, not a harder life. I want my people to have a better life than me. I want that. I want them. I tell them every day, I want you to make more money, not less. I want you to make more money, not less. I want you to make a lot more money. I want it. And I'm not doing that to gear them up. I'm telling them the only way to do that is to work towards that common goal of talking to everybody about our agency account plan and what we do and how we do business, and working every day. And that's the kicker. So no change from that's how I started. I don't know if that's good. No. You're going to have to edit me out a lot because I just keep talking.
No, we need all this. The crazy, just the chance that she picked up. The rules you picked up, changes your whole life. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, it changed my entire life.
How that other DM didn't pick up.
That's right. I remember my dad was a very successful person, very successful in the community. And I'm not going to tell you dollars and cents, but I always thought, boy, if I could just make what he makes, if I could and we all live this story, right? So many agents have this story. If I could just make what he makes, we make way more a month than he made in a year. I mean, double. And you just go, whoa. But back then, that's the answer. I'm so blessed. I also know, I tell you one thing, I look at the good things. If people want to say why you're good, it was because I was brought up by my mom was awesome too. Amazing, strong woman. And the thing is, I was brought up to count the good things, and we call it count the blessings, whatever you want to do. But most agents right now, you get the calls too. They come to you and talk to you, and they're very down. Mm-hmm. It's whatever's happening. Maybe it's it is a volatile time. It's a lot of things happening, whatever it is. And they tell you how bad. And when you ask them how bad it is, and when you ask them, you say, but tell me something good. What's good? And the sad thing is some can't tell you. They just can't tell you what's good. Mm. And I think that's the kicker. Yeah. Because they can't tell you. There is so much.
That's good.
So much good. And the bad's there, but God, there's so much. And you can overcome these things with looking at the good things, and you just nearly overwhelm them. I mean, overwhelm the bad, but you have to get that in your mind to keep pushing and driving and pushing towards those things that make you feel good about your business. And that's what we do. And I want my people to do. I have to out there. My people have to feel good. They have to feel good every day. They can't have, I tell them, if you have a bad day, they got to be a little me. They got to say, and that's hard because my wife says I'm so positive it makes her sick sometimes. It does, but I can't help it. That's just when you do it enough, if you speak it, it actually works. But you got to speak it. You got to talk it. You've got to say it. And if you say, this is a terrible business and my business is going down enough, your business is going to go down. Yeah. But if you say, I'm going to get better, if you say it enough and you keep fighting and pushing, your business will be better. Now, I'm not saying I can't point out some things we need to, policies. I tell you what, I don't like losing policies, and we do lose them because of our market. We lose some. We have attrition.
The size of your book.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough, man. It's a tough thing. But what you understand is I look at my income goes up every year. Overall income. I pay more taxes every year because my income goes up. And that's a good thing. My contract value, which old school agent, we look at that, goes up every year. Where
every
we
year
do that.
For
we
33,
look
33
what's
years?
That? Every year my contract value goes up, and
Wow.
I probably have had a year where it dipped, but we keep going, we keep growing, we keep finding a way. We're looking to the future. I would buy another agency tomorrow. People say, wow, you're crazy. Why would you want to do that? What in this market when it's golly, because I talk to these agents who are pumping, and every one of them say that. They say, I would buy an agency tomorrow. These young guys, I love the young guys. Oh, I love them. I love them. And they're cocky and hardcore. And they are so good because they drive me. I love these young guys, and we can list them, right? You've had them on your show, and I love to hear them because they humble me. They humble me. They make me want to be better. If a young guy is growing this business for 20 years down the road, my gosh, I should be able to do the same. And
you definitely because what you have is the experience, which is so valuable. And the one thing that's just blowing me away is the energy. Tell me how you maintain your energy level. I know it probably has a lot to do with the mental we talked about, but also the physical.
Yeah.
But just the energy, the positive energy that you bring out is something that's just blown away with. Share it with us how to keep that energy level high.
I'm a man of faith. I won't go into that, very much so. So I believe prayer is important. I pray for farmers every single day. That includes you. I do. Yes, my wife, every single day. I pray. I mentioned farmers in my prayers. It's every agent that's there, and not to say I have anything against State Farm or Allstate, but I'll hold them when I need to, but I'm just saying but I do. I believe in that. I believe it's important. So that's a very big part of mine, but my energy level, I lost my parents early in life. So you take care of yourself better. I'm a big guy. I'm not a little guy. I've got to watch my weight. So I try to eat better, eat good and take care of myself. But, I'm just like everybody else. I know, I believe that I'm happy because, what affects a lot of agents, and I know you can attest to this, anybody can, any agent. What I find is a lot of times I find it with producers, my people, or people. It's not, if a person does bad that works for you, a lot of times it's not their work. It's outside their work, right? It's their family. Maybe they're having an issue here or there, a sickness, a marital problem, whatever it is, financial. It could be a number of things. I think the outside influences how they work inside. The ones that I've had to let go, or the ones that have had to get out of the business with us, it's very rarely because of what farmers or the industry or insurance has done. It's usually their outside life affects what they do. So I think there's so much to stability. I'm a boring person. I've had the same wife for 36 years. I only have one daughter. I had her for 32. I up until recently, I bought a new house, but I had the same house for 25. Same business, same industry for 33. I like stability. I love to be stable. I enjoy that. And I'll tell you another thing I know you do, and I admire what you're doing, and I know others do. You live it. You give back. Now, there's ebb and flows to giving back, right? There's ebb and flows. Right now, I'm an old agent. I'm an old school agent. I don't got to do stuff, but let me just tell you, I give back. I believe if you want to feel better about yourself, you help somebody. Wow. You help somebody. And if I can't walk out there, now you want me to rate an auto or rate a home, I can do it. Takes me a long time. My people do it, right? You know what I mean by that, right? Takes a long time. Apex, I'm trying to take the classes and learn, but truth of the matter is I don't do it every day, and they're learning it better than me. And but I admire that. I want them to. But if I can't go out, and if they have an issue with a customer that their homeowners went up, like everybody's is in this era with every company, their homeowners went up, and I don't give them direction to talk to them about that. If I can't work with them, if I can't go to that appointment and sit with them. I should be able to do that. I've been around 33 years. If one of my people are having a problem with a customer, you bet you call me. You better have my back and be able to help me. I call it have my back, but I'm there. And they can call me on the phone with a customer that's irate, and I guarantee you, I can make them feel good about their insurance and feel better. I know it. And I know my people need to listen to that. So if I can't make the person feel good out in my office, how can I make a customer feel good? How can I make an agent feel good? So the energy is inside me. I don't even know where it's coming from. It's a great thing. My mom always said she wanted me to be a preacher because, she was an old Baptist. And I said I had no desire to be a preacher, but I preach farmers. I preach it all the time. I preach insurance. I like that. I love that. And I want to, and preaching getting better and running a business and how that feels. And I talk to my people all the time about becoming an agent one day and working that. And what you need to learn and what you need to do to become an agent. And I love that. I love that direction. So I don't know, energy. I don't know. I guess if I didn't have, I do have a lot of energy. I wake up smiling every day. I wake up happy and I keep going. I usually I have a good base. When I go home, I have a smiling wife, happy wife. Now she's not always happy with me, but most of the time she's happy with me. And my daughter is happy, about to get married and works for the company. She works for farmers.
Congratulations.
She works for the farmers. She's an ASM in Austin. Proud of her, proud of what she does, and working with agents and trying to make them better. That's what their job does. I'm proud of that. And so I have a good, I have a very good base to work with. So I don't know. I'm a happy guy. I got a lot of energy. I don't mean to have a lot of energy. I mean, you get me. I get rolling, and I just think. But isn't that why we sell, right? I think. Right. Wouldn't you want to buy from me?
Oh yeah, I'll buy 2 policies.
That's what I'm saying. But isn't that the type of people we want? We want people who are uplift. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I always said, if you're, there are some agents that just don't have a good personality. I don't know if farmers ought to add charm school to career school. Maybe, I don't know, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, insurance is not as fun topic as it is. So
it's not.
If you combine that with a boring monotone voice, then it's tough. Yeah, so
it is.
I mean, it's a gift that you have. I could already tell.
That means a lot.
Natural energy.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot to it as far as taking care of, and then your support system, you said, plays a big role in it.
Yes.
But the way you look we talked about, our ages, but you look great, and just forward thinking. And another thing that's blowing me away is your humility. Because I know you've seen it before where agents, they reach a certain level way below yours, but even earlier, at certain levels, sometimes their ego or their it could get us in trouble. But I'm just so blown away from the moment I met you with your humility. What are the tricks to help you stay even keel like that?
I had the fortune. I mean, you got to think, I grew up, I jumped out there real good, just like a lot of good agents. And I got to meet all our CEOs. I got to meet the management. I got to meet the best agents in the company. I got to meet them and talk with them. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, all of them were that way. And you're right. They just know. They never are satisfied. They always have, I think you say it's humility. I know what you mean, though. I call it agent syndrome. I've seen it in every company, not just farmers. I've seen it with Allstate, State Farm, Nationwide, some of the big I call it agent syndrome. They start thinking they're more important than what they do. Mm-hmm. And I think that gets you in any business, in any job. It hurts us in anything. Politics, it's bad in politics. Everything. It's not a good thing. I don't believe I drive a business. I run a business. I love that part of it. I love hiring people. I love that. I know it's fragile. So, and I go back to my market. I believe my market's, I use that word fragile, very stable, but you're always feeling like you could lose it. Even though I know I can't, I know it would take years for that to happen, but you always are humbled. Mm-hmm. I'm humbled. I love to talk to, like I said earlier, agents like yourself, new agents. I love people who they come up with this idea and you go, God, it's such a good idea. That's such a good idea. And and some agents take that personal and they don't like that. They thinking, well, why are they putting him on a pedestal? I mean, I've been put on a pedestal enough. I don't think I should be put on that much. I think there are agents in the company that do better than me in some ways. They maybe can't sustain it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sustaining it's hard. Keeping it going, hard market or not. Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing. I think that goes back to what I said earlier. I think I never have thought, I know I'm a good agent and I'm proud of that. I'm not going to lie there. I know we're good. I know we're good. I know we're different. I know we're good. I'm not going to say we're bad at any way. Very proud of what we've got.
Oh boy.
But I know I'm good, but I'll tell you this, I know I can be better. And I know you've done it. I'm going to the conference you're going to in Dallas. So you're talking at it. I saw your name. I saw a few other farmers and some Allstate. I'm taking 5 of my people and myself. We're going up there for 2 nights. We're going to go to that conference and we're going to get better. And I do that because I want to learn ideas and be humbled, be learning, because my people need that. So I'm constantly in I understand where I can remember when I first started and couldn't buy diapers, right? I can remember hiring somebody, like I said, over and over the years and couldn't afford them, but I had to sell more. And that's what our people are doing. And that's what agents are doing. Greatest profession I could have ever gotten into. It's not easy, but it's so rewarding if you keep driving. I can only use that word drive. I know I don't answer it well because people ask me all the time. For forever, I have said, I've been asked that. How can you stay, like what you said, how can you stay focused? How can you stay kind of humble? How can you stay? And I think I don't have a great answer. I've brought up good, and I hope I never slap me if I ever get that negative agent. I just slap me. But I do think though that anybody can change that. I think you've got to start. I think if anybody's listening to this and they're down, they're down. They're just saying, I just can't turn that corner. I just can't do it. You narrow your focus. We've all lived it when you're running a business. You say, okay, what is the most important thing? Just look at numbers. The most important thing is income. I'm losing policies. So what do I got to do? Outperform attrition. I got to write into our new business. And you got to focus. You got to take a step backwards to go forwards. I got to focus. How am I going to write new business? I need this much new business to take care of attrition. So I got to work. I still work. I still write FFS. I have appointments. I have a lady who will, you can't tell her to set me some appointments up because she'll set me up 4 or 5 tomorrow. It's crazy. And She does. And she sets those up and we go out and win some, lose some, but we're proud of that. We're in the top 5 most every year. It lasts a few years in FFS. I love the FFS. I know we can't talk much about that, but I do. It's a natural part of our business. I'm not good at life. I tell you what, I used to write 200. You want to know what bothers me? And I'm trying so hard to get better at, because I got things to get better at. It's not like I got a perfect world. We have 41 life policies, 43 life policies as of today. because 2 issues, 43. I want 100 so bad. And I want it so bad. And I used to write, I'm not lying, Dan, we used to write 200, 240 a year. But what happened was, like most agencies, we got to writing, because we were so good at it, we got to write bigger ones. So we wrote these bigger ones, hit the same. I still make $1 million round table, quarter of the table, still made it with lower policies, right? Less policies, because we write these big ones. But for my people, if you're going to be a good insurance person, you need to write life. So we have to write life, but we're cyclical. If I have a contest, we do well. If I don't have a contest, we don't. So I'm about to have a contest and drive those people and give them more knowledge and skill and do it. And then I look at my peers. I look at some of these guys, God, these young guys writing so much life, and I should be doing that. My agency, you talk about success and failure. It's a failure because we do not write 100 policies. We got to get better. We've got to get better. Now, a lot of great agents are in that same boat, but they won't say that. But it's true. It's just true. And what you got to do is I got to narrow that focus. How am I going to get 100 policies? How am I going to, and I can't count my VULs, right? So I've got to count farmers' policies. And how do I do it? And I drive that. And I drive it. And on my those
your focus is right there.
Focus. That's why they're a focus agent. I got focus. My producers are focus agents. I want little focus agencies inside. So how can you work a lot of premium? You divide premium by my focus agents, and they have a helper, and they're like a little agency. And so they drive that, and they write as much as they can through that. Hard market or bad. I mean, we got a very tough market because I got to count my Craft Lake, because we have to write through Craft Lake in my area. And we have to, because it's the nature of the beast, because fire is tough, right? So we do it. So I have a focus agent with the agency assistant. We also, I tell them, we have a philosophy. We talk about it all the time, the agency account plan. I won't go into a whole nother talk, but the answer is they got to know how to talk that every single time. They got to know how to transition by using just. We do a lot more than just auto. We do a lot more than just auto and home. We do a lot more than just auto, home, and life. We do a lot more than just auto, home, life, and commercial. We do a lot more. And if you say that, if my people say that enough, and they know where to go, it works. But they've got to talk to more people. So service is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's sales-driven service. But it's hard, and it wears them down. And my job is to lift them up. My job is to go in there, just like I want to lift an agent up, lift my people up, make them better, make them feel better. And it's hard, because they're just like the agents in our district that get pounded with issues and problems, and you lift them up. I tell my people, when that rough customer calls them and gripes at them about, man, I had a rate increase, and maybe we hope to talk to them, but maybe we didn't, right? We fight to talk to them, but maybe we messed up. And they humble themselves, and they tell them, God, our goal is to make you feel good. Our goal is to make you feel good about your insurance. I mean, that's the goal. That's how David is focused. That's how he's pushing. And at this time, it didn't work. Let us make a bad situation good. Let us work this. Give us a chance. Give us an opportunity. And that's the way you talk. I got to take the burden off of them. I got to let them know, how you talk to a guy that their insurance goes up, and they tell them why, and they tell them why, they tell them what we can do, and they give them choice. I've got to give that to them, and I've got to give that to them and make them better. And then people, sometimes you have to let them be overworked. You got to let them, because they always want help. So, but the difference is, agency account plan, I tell them, oh, you're going to get busier. You got to get busier, or you don't deserve more money. You got to get busier. You got to have stress. I love stress. I love it. I just enjoy it. I love it. It's stressful, right? Our jobs are stressful, aren't they, Dad? But I love it. I enjoy that. And
you're growing.
Oh, because you're striving to grow. All my bonuses, I tell you what, I build them around the bonuses, and we could pull that out, and you know what I'm talking about. They go right across. So I want to hit every single bonus. I have a minimum I want to hit for each one. I want to hit my, I want to hit my personal lines. I want to hit my commercial. I want to hit my life. I want to get all my points I can get right on my personal. I want to get all my points on commercial. I want to grow. I want the growth bonus, and I want the commercial bonus. Let me tell you another thing. My agency is not getting the growth bonus. Oh, it's my market. Maybe I could use that as an excuse. No excuse. There's no excuse. I have to find a way to get my personal lines growth bonus in a market that is a targeted catastrophic area. They do not want to grow. I've got to find a way. There is no choice. Farmers is not wrong. The industry is not wrong. We could have a major hurricane here and it could devastate the company. It could. Mm-hmm. But I have my job. What I have to do is build a business that will get that bonus, and I'm going to get it. I get the commercial, but I need to get that. I grow in premium, but I get it because of commercial. I've got to get that one. And it's because there's been a reason not to grow. They're worried about the major hurricane. So just think if I can do that, and I can do that. I can do that. I'm fighting.
I have no absolute doubt that you can with your
but it's hard.
Focus. Do you market in different parts of the state because you have different offices? Are they all spread out a little?
I'm a Houston guy, and I have an office in 3 parts of Houston: in the east, in the middle, and in North Houston. So we do market all over Houston. I'm opening an office in Austin, and I'm doing that. And I like offices. Some people say go remote. I do have a couple of people that work remote, but for the most part, I'm not going to go remote. I like my people here. I like to go. I get up in the morning. Every morning when I start to work, I do whatever I'm going to do, working out, drink my coffee, whatever I'm going to do. 8 o'clock. I'm usually answering emails about 5:30 or 6 because I got a lot of emails, and I'm planning my day. But I'm usually at my computer at my house, and I'm looking at things, and I have my path where I'm going to go, and I get in that car and I go there. And I'm talking to my people, and I go where the appointments are, and I go where my people need to be lifted up, and I go to where I need to train. But what I love about Austin, and I am going to do that in Austin, and my Austin, I know some people get worried about that. They think I'm this great agent going to take over Austin. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what it does for me, though, it does give me a fire market that's open. But you know how hard that is to go, and now these new agents are doing it. They are soliciting all over the state. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. I'm working it. I want to have proteges. I want proteges in that agency, and I want them riding all over the state. And I want to make them tough. Hard thing for me in a protege, it's hard. I haven't succeeded with a protege. And I think the philosophy for me so far, it's nothing negative towards it, because I admire the people that are doing it. I'm trying to learn from them. But the hard part for me is I want a person that stays with me forever. Right. I don't want them to ever leave, right? Yeah. No, and the good ones do it for the bonus. They want that bonus. They say, yeah, but if they're really good, they're going to stay. It's impossible to build that. You have to be pushing them to be an agent from day one. And I'm going to learn to sell it. I'm going to learn to do it. I want to do it like these young guys. I don't know if I can, but I'm sure going to try. So if I could do that, and we solicit all over the state. Now I don't have the retail funds. I have to do it out of my own funds. But the answer, which is not a cop out, I think do you know that's the big thing. Agents where I'm at, they say, yeah, but these guys, they're getting 4 times the income, whatever it is, and what's going to happen when that runs out? They're just going to sell it and run away, right? Well, who cares? I admire them. They're taking this 4 times the money, and they're putting it back in just like I did. And they are buying massive leads, and they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people immediately. Oh, how amazing is that? What the company needs to do is do a senior retail and give that to people like me and say, hey, here's a senior retail, and let us do it. I mean, I brought that up. I think it's worth doing. I think someone like you, we should do that because we could do it. But I think they're great. I admire it. A matter of fact, it humbles me because to do that's hard. So that's what I want to do. I want to keep I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep writing my new business. I'm going to keep striving to be better here and make it better. But I'm going to open a new age agency. I don't know a good name for it. That call center like you do. I would like to learn more. I've talked to you about, I want to learn. I don't do that well. My people are working our book. I mean, that's what us old guys do. We work our book and we got enough inside it, but I still want to ride all over the state, find that and build that. And at the same time, it opens up commercial for me, which I do in a different market. I want to write more commercial there. And I want to write, and that brings with my agency account plan. When I talk about, we want all your business. You're never going to feel good without all your business. We want your auto, your home, your life insurance. We want your auto, your home, your toys, your commercial, your life insurance, term and permanent. And we do conservative, aggressive investments, 401k, pension plans, CDs, annuities, IRA rollovers. I need more people to do that too. So if I can build that, I drive the business. And even if I don't do well at it, we're better. And what am I going to hit? All those bonuses are going to be hit one day. So I haven't done a good enough job. I haven't done a good enough job by not embracing that more. I've tried, but I haven't embraced it. So no, we need to, and I have a plan. I have a plan to set it up right now, hire people for that marketplace, but they're going to come in, they're going to be agents. I have to have a different philosophy with them because I'm finding it. There's no middle ground. You can maybe at the end you could keep them, but if you go in telling them, and if you my line would be, but if you do well, I'll just, you ought to stay with me. It's got to be, you need to be an agent. You need to be an agent. You're learning to be an agent, and I have to push it, and I have to give them so many leads they can't fail, and that helps my overall numbers. And this agency grows, and they keep. And if it works, I hire one, I hire two, I hire three, I hire four, I hire five. It makes all my people here now better. I tell them, guys, even though everyone can't sell commercial, you need to find commercial, because if we sell commercial, it makes our agency better. Even though everyone here can't write FFS, you need to talk and find financial service. Tell them, boy, David really knows it. His team is really good, and find us leads. And the more people I have are little solicitors for that auto, that home, that toys, the commercial, the life insurance, and conservative. There's no excuse we shouldn't be selling 100 life. I've failed on that. I failed. There's no excuse that we shouldn't hit higher numbers. The market a little bit in commercial, but only because we can't write buildings here, and that's rough. Wow. But when I go into the new market, there's no excuse. And I just personally like an office. I like people to get mail if from an office that is in Austin, Texas. So if we're soliciting for commercial or for homes in that area, I think they want mail in that area. See, there still is that person. But also I'll solicit in Lubbock, Texas, and see how that goes, wherever it is. I don't know. You're doing that. Do you solicit everywhere?
In the state, for the most part, yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, I need to learn from you and others like you, because I'm not good at that. I think most of the agents in my era, if you've talked to them, it's hard. It's a big hurdle. It becomes a cop out. It doesn't become real that it's a hurdle. It's a cop out not to do it. And I'm getting rid of the cop out. We're doing it. We want to solicit all over the country and make those sales to where they're better. One reason I'm going to that conference is I like Vlad's stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I like his, and I need more training material that's not just mine, it's other people's. I want to make my people better.
Are you speaking in that one?
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
you gotta be up there.
I get to come and just talk and listen. I like it. Those are
You need
those
to
young.
take my spot. You need to
No, those are those young agents. They don't even know me. They don't think they don't.
Oh
You
my
know, it's
goodness.
true. It's true. I love that.
That
So I love
doesn't
to
feel
go
right
and
to me.
I can just be an agent and enjoy and be with my people and say, hey, you go to this class and you go to this one and you go to this one and you go to this one, just like a district manager, right? And I can take them and I can say, what did you learn? And kind of mold it to where it'll fit what their specialty is and go to town with it, because I want my people to be better and I want them to bring back a message to the other people at the office offices that say, hey, this is where we're going, and I'm going to talk to more people that are doing the new age, right? What you're doing, that's new age. What I admire about yours, you weren't doing it for a long time, and then all of a sudden you changed to this amazing. I mean, that's another talk. I could interview you later.
Oh, no, I love to share. I mean,
but I know you do.
No,
and I love that.
I'm going to learn way more than you will ever.
I tell you, it's just, there's a lot of, I think I may be wrong. Bring me back in the first of next year and let's see how that's going, because I tell you what, we'll see if I can turn that part on. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great to have a good established hardcore old school agency that is growing, is doing and
has every line, mastered.
Every line
as far as knowledge and
I was shocked at toppers that we made it in all four categories. Truthfully, there was no more in Central Territory that had done it. And I challenged those people in Central. They should be making that in every line. My district manager was next to me. He laughed at me. He said, well, you got to do it. I got to do it. Wow. But we should try to make it in every line.
That's amazing.
In the old days, they had championship and you had to make it, you could make it in life and commercial. And I believe they had personalized. And we strive to make it in each one, but that's just a little thing. I think you want to be good. You don't write life. You write life for the customer but it's good for the business. Mm-hmm. It's good. That's why I do FFS. It's good for the business. Mm-hmm. And I love commercial. It's good for the business. I mean, let's face it. Some of these commercial guys some of these owners, they're not fun to deal with, right? They're kind of rough. They're not the funnest people, but some of them are. Some of them's great, but some of them aren't. But the reason and I tell them that, I say, you are so good for my business. You make my business so much better. No difference the way I talk to an employee that I talk to a customer. I would tell my employees that my goal is to make you feel good about our agency and farmers. My goal is to do that. My goal is that. My goal, just like I tell a customer, that's what we want, right? Mm-hmm. You've got to do that. You want the worst thing you have is an employee that gets a little down on your company for whatever reason. Apex changing and it's a little different. You just tell them, hey, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. They're working on these. That's why I'm doing that tomorrow at our roundtable. So.
The positivity that you bring. Now, one day I want to be a Hall of Fame agent like you, and and at your age have all this drive and this curiosity that you have of the future is gonna bring. You touched on it a little bit, but I believe a lot of things comes from your daily habits. And you touched on your how you start your day and what your day looks like. But I want to become like you one day. So what is your day like these days now, as far as your daily schedule?
I mean, I have a very blessed life because truthfully, you could turn it off. You could just not go to work, but you got to go to work. You got to go to work. You got to be, I got to be an example to my people. I've got to be seen. I've got to, if I'm not working, why should they? Right? It's like a district. Your district manager needs to be an example to their agents. Company needs to be an example. I believe that. So I've got to be an example. So I do a thing called Everyone Every Day. I challenge you to do it. You got a lot of people. Okay. It's Everyone Every Day. I put those on the calendar, and I talk to everyone every day, individually. Mm-hmm. So I may be driving in my car, and I call everyone in this office, and then I'm going to this office, and I talk to them, and everyone every day. And you have something you're going to tell them and talk to them. And you do an everyone every day. I think it's so important. And I think you got to touch your people. A lot of little agencies with just 2 or 3 people, sometimes they don't talk to their people. And I don't mean just talk to them when there's a problem. I mean, talk to them and ask them about their goals. How did you do this month? Oh, it's a great month. How do you do? What did you get? Something sales driven. You're talking to them and you're pushing it. I'm a sales guy. I want to sell. 100%. So I talk to them every day. The other thing that I think, I'm not sure your question, but the other thing that I think is good is those roundtable meetings I do every Friday. I have a phone system, and at 9:00 it says that we're in a conference, and we'll get right back with them. It's a message, 9 to 10 o'clock, and we do that. And so I have roundtable, and when I have an agenda that I go over with them, and if I'm out of town, they do it. One of them run it. I mean, I need that roundtable, and everybody gets on it. And I have Karina, who's been with me forever. I call it Karina's Thoughts. She finishes it, and that's when everybody talks. And I'll tell them from the beginning. It's a little line. I could pull it up on my phone and read it to you, the last agenda. It's just, I always start out by saying, this is your chance to talk about what we need to do and how we need to be better. I don't care if it's your first week. You tell us what we need to do, how we can learn. What did you learn different? And we go through everything. And you can just imagine how great that is. COVID, we talk about being courteous with COVID. Have a mask right at your desk. I got one right here. Have a mask right at your desk. Just to be courteous. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care how you believe. If someone walks in with a mask, you put your mask on and talk to them and talk to them about it. We be courteous, very courteous. Get away from all the politics and all that. I go with that every day. I go over if we have Apex and an Apex focus, and my 2 people I put in charge of Apex, they're telling us something new, and everybody is talking about what they learn new, and they know to have it ready to bring it up in that meeting. And you got to be fast and quick. Then I go into each roundtable. I have my specialty person in charge of talks about specialty and says some good sales are there. My commercial person tells how we did and what we found and who found something for commercial and what we wrote and how we're doing and a new tidbit maybe. My FFS person talks to them about who found a new client and how it does. My personal lines person, which is Karina, she talks about personal lines and talks it, and they're in charge of that. I have my life person, Laura, who talks about life and what we wrote and what we're at. And of course, I'm interjecting and I'm talking, but we go through that every single Friday, and they know it's going to happen. And at the end, I always talk to them. I started these. I always did them. I never called them anything. I started it during COVID, when that 30-day period when we had to go home and everybody worked remote. And so I started it. I started the roundtables, and it became, God, this is great. I can talk to them every day. And so I do that. And it's called roundtable. I would say every agent should do it. I don't care if you got one person. I don't care if you're by yourself. You should do a roundtable.
Meeting by yourself.
Talk about what your business is going to do. It is so important. And you're giving credibility and leadership to the people in your office. In my office, everybody makes a base. It's the old platform style, except for it doesn't go away. It can adjust up and down according to what their commission is down the road, but they have a base with a duty. They have a job. They have a job to do. So I have someone, Texas windstorm is so important here on the Gulf Coast. I have someone that's in charge of that. And she talks during that. She'll give us the update on Texas windstorm. And she has something to say and talks about it. And she can tell a story about somebody. She can, you have that. Everybody has a duty, a life person. A life person takes that cop out away of, if I write a policy, you've got to push to get things through. And so she makes sure you're pushing. Her job is to make sure it's pushed through. Right now, I've talked to her. We failed. We've got to get 100. We've got to fight to get 100. Commercial guys talking about the markets that we're in and what we found, what we're learning and how we're going in. I have a whole person in charge of Austin that is telling them how, hey, Austin's going to be, we are going to put on this new group of people, but you're also going to get leads from Austin. So that's going to be nice because we're not have these restrictions. We'll be able to actually write in Austin. So it's and that whole corridor everywhere else. And so my people are connected. So I've got to connect with them because so roundtable meetings, RMDs, rate my days every single day. I get a rate my day. What time is it? It's nearly 5. What time is it?
5:30 for you, I think.
Oh, it's 5:30. So I already got them in my thing. I got rate my days from everybody. They leave around 5:05, 5:10. Some stay late. Whenever they leave the office, they give me a rate my day. It's a 7-point rate my day. And don't hold me to it, but the first one is actually rate my day, 1 to 10. You know, I mean, if it's a 10, you better have sold a lot, right? It's a great day. Usually it's in the 7, 8 range. If it's a 3, you wonder why. It's usually they didn't have a sale that day. Then the next one is what sales they have for the day, the week, the month. And they know their goals, and each goal is a little different, and they know their goals. And I do it by number of policies. And then they always down at the bottom, they're giving me their premium. They keep their premium, and they got that, and they rate my day. The next one is quotes, because quotes definitely relate to how many sales you do. And in my market, it's got to be a lot more. It's crazy because we don't have the fire market other markets have. So you have to be pushing that. Did I do a power hour? Power hours are vital because you have to, my people all service. They all service. I don't agree with the separation of sales and service. Now that's why my new age will be so good, right? Because they will only sell. It'll be so good. But this new age, because they sell from service, my best salespeople are great service people, and they sell from the service. Now they need more help because we have so much service right now. It's kind of controlled chaos. They could go up, and I know that, and I'm going to get them help, and that's what we do. But so they do a power hour, and what that means is you may be calling defectors, you may be calling homeowners renewals, auto renewals, because that is very sales driven. That's very sales driven. Looking the computer in the eye and saying, "Oh my gosh, we don't have your home. Why don't we? Or we don't have your auto." That's the biggest thing in homes. We believe in agency account plan. The goal is to put it all together. You're never going to feel good. Why don't we have your auto? They're looking that computer in the eye, so they're calling, but they have to stop servicing. We go back to that agent syndrome thing. What agents do is they just start servicing, and that's all they do. New business is the driver. You will fail without new business. You must write new business. It's been that way no matter how big you are. So what they got to do is they got to step back. They got to stop doing what they're doing. It's on the calendar, and they're dialing. They're calling.
1 hour.
1 hour or hours. It can be hours.
At least.
Yes. I mean, and the goal is to get new activity. You always should have 5. You should have 5 power leads, and those are, if I ask any one of them, they go, I'm working this one. If they don't have that many leads, they're about to try to close, they got a problem, and they've got to do that. And do they have problems? Yes. That's why failure is good. And we say, okay, we got to get you to where you have this many leads. You're not doing your power hour. So they got to tell me every day if they do your power hour, and you can't lie. I mean, I can look on the phones and see how many calls you dialed out. I could do that. So if you don't, you say no. And that may be one of my calls I say, and I read it all. I read every one of them. So I read every one of those every single day. I read every one. It goes to me and my head of offices, and they help me do that, but they read them. So, and then they also can tell me, the last part is focus on tomorrow. That focus word again, focus on tomorrow.
Okay.
So what is happening tomorrow? And they tell me. It's this beautiful thing. It's great. Wow. It's like this, and I mean, some tell me, and and it's very important that we listen and read those, because they give me great information. I know they may have somebody, David, I really need you to help me with this call. So and so is upset. No problem. I'll talk to them all the time. My goal is I'll usually pick up the phone, give me their number. I'll call them right now, and I'll kind of play dumb. I go, I don't know anything going on. I just know Karina said you weren't happy. So tell me what's up. And I'm talking to them just like I'm talking to you. And that's strength. That's power, because they like that. And I learned it's the best thing. Let's hit it. And I don't get tired doing it. I enjoy doing it. So those little things, RMDs, roundtables, everyone every day, narrow the focus. Always tell people to narrow the focus to what's most important. Those are little things that we deal with every day. Agency account plan, talk just, that those things we're talking every day. And I hope to get more from, I know I'm getting more. Josiah Hartley's stuff is good. I love his stuff. I'm gonna use something. I really like him. I love he's driven. I like that. I'd like to meet with the new agent of the year, Dustin, and I'd like to go and see him. I'd like to learn from him and see, golly, there's something there. I know he's doing everything right. His numbers are so good in all lines. I love that. I want to learn from you. There's just a lot of people that in my district, there's some young agents. I love them at Toppers. These guys are these brand new agents that come in. I mean, there's Daniel and Dustin, and there's Eric Breland, who's right second in my district to me. I mean, he's great. He's a new agent. He's a new guy. He's a retail agent, and you just love that. I mean, I just love that, and he makes me want to be better. So I know it works. I just don't understand that part of it. It is so different. I think that's something we really need to work on with my age. There's a generation gap there. There's something, I don't know what terms to use, but it's something we got to put into words. There's got to be a way to set up that in our great agencies we have. And that's what I want to try to work on. I may fail, but I'm going to do better failing. I think I'll come out of it pretty good.
Yeah, you always have, right?
I have. It's always worked. Haven't failed. Haven't gone out yet. So I keep going. I want to keep going. So that's about it.
Yeah. No, Mr. Sewell. I mean, what a eye opener for me to see the passion and the energy that you have after all these years. It's so refreshing for me to know, like, I have so much to look forward to, because I'm not halfway where you are, and still, once you get there, you still have that drive and still have the enthusiasm, and you're just so positive and just so full of energy. That's exactly how I want to be when I'm your age.
You'll be better than me. I believe that. You'll be better than me, and like I said, I think I hope that something I said helps people out there and helps you and helps others. And I plan on taking some of what you say and making me better. And I think if we all do that, we're going to be the future's bright. The future's amazing. The best is yet to come. It's just we got to drive. We got to keep pushing. We got to come in every day to make a difference. Not come in every day just do the same thing. You've got to come in every day to pump it. And I really appreciate being on with you. It means a lot.
I think there should be more content with featuring you. I think
I don't know.
You should do a roundtable for the whole company.
My problem is that I know I've got a lot of getting better to do. So it's pressure sometimes to come in and do these because, golly, I know where we can be better. I'm not lying. You get me back here. Let's see how this thing works in my new age, and I think it'll be fun. It's gonna be hard, but a fun experiment. And boy, if I can do it, it sure would be a great story. And I like my story to keep going, right? We want to keep it going.
It's already an amazing story. If there's any way I could be any type of resource for you.
Oh, I appreciate that very much.
But it's just such an inspiration, only 13 Hall of Famers in the company, and to reach where you are and to still have the vision and excitement is just refreshing. It's so refreshing to
get to know you. That means a lot. And likewise, it's great to see you young guys doing so amazing. I want 700 one day. I want it. Project 700 is what we need to do. I need to do that. God, that would be amazing if we could get to that level. You have a lot. You have a lot to be proud of. And so thank you so much. I hope I helped. You let me know if I can ever do it.
You absolutely did. You're the ultimate coach of farmers of all our agents.
Hey,
so
like that.
Thank you so much again, Sewell, and will be my honor to be able to keep in touch with you from now on.
Great. Thank you. So likewise, you be good. Everybody have a great day.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.